Since I'm going to draw foxes, I thought I would remind you of a story that we know. The Crow and the Fox. A crow with some cheese sat down at her ease to eat it upon a high tree. The fox passing by, who did this espy, said, "That must be mine," speedily. "Oh, crow, I'm really ashamed. I've never yet heard you sing. Yet everywhere round the praises resound of your beauteous voice in the spring." The crow, full of pride, at this opened wide her beak and cawed loudly and shrill, while fox, with a smile, rejoiced at his guile, and swallowed the cheese with a will, and swallowed the cheese with a will. Another one I think most of you know as well, but we didn't do it as a poem or something that we recited. It was just a Aesop fable that I had talked about. The Fox and the Grapes. "What luscious grapes," mused a hungry fox. "Fine good grapes," he said. "If I jump as high as a clever fox can, I'll have those grapes for me." He jumped and he leaped and he snapped with his teeth, but only the air did he bite, while the grapes, sweet and juicy, dangled above and swayed at a lofty height. The fox grew mad, turned scarlet red, and tossed his head. Said he, "Those grapes are sour and full of worms. Who wants those grapes? Not me." All right, I'm going to go ahead and start to draw foxes. And I want us to think about those stories, or those fables actually is what both of those were. All right. So in order to get these drawings in here, I started with a golden yellow, and I want you to start with a golden yellow, but I noticed when I rewatched the video that I had made, you couldn't see the golden yellow. So I decided I'm just going to stick with this beginning that I had, but I'm going to do it with brown. But I want you to start with a golden yellow. I started with a golden yellow. So as I'm drawing this today, I'm going to try to get 3 foxes. And I'm going to get one that's kind of down a little bit closer to me, down on the page, one fox here, and just take your hand and kind of think about where is that first fox going to be. It's going to take up about this much space. It's going to need a tail, it's going to need legs, it's going to need a head, it's going to need a body, and then there's going to be one a little bit back further. It's going to need a body and a head, so it's going to take up about this much space. And then I'm going to also try to get another one in the background, so it's going to take up about that much space, a little bit smaller in the background. All right, so I'm going to start with working on this one right here. I'm going to go ahead and get in an oval shape. And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this open a little bit so that I don't have to cover up that line. So an oval like that. And then I'm going to get another oval, and it's going to be a little bit more pointy towards this side of the oval. It's still an ovalish shape. And then I'm going to get a couple of ears in there. And we know that a fox has big pointy ears, but I'm not going to, still again, I'm not going to make it really, really pointy because this is an animal. So, and I liked some of the words that were in this about foxes and about what they look like. When you think about a fox, you think about the fact that in stories, a lot of times they're thought of as being very clever or very tricky. It seems like that's been a theme a lot this year with the different foxes that are in these stories. So you notice here I'm just getting these ears. They're still rounded. I want to show that that's the back of the ear. And this is the front of the ear. So now this is the only time I'm pressing down. I've been really drawing very lightly up until here. Now I'm pressing down a little bit. Alright, and again I'm still going with that very light touch. And I'm going to think about, okay, this is the nose. The nose comes up into the face. There's a dark part of the nose. It comes up. And then the eyes. Again, I don't want everything to be too straight or too perfect. It is an animal. It has soft edges. So I'm going to soften up those edges a little bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and get that eye in there. I'm going to go ahead and show you what I just did. Alright. Now I'm going to come to the back. And we say, okay, this is kind of the back of this fox. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to get nice full tail. And maybe it even goes off the page a little bit. I want to get a back leg. And remember, they're not really tall like a fox. When you think about a fox, they're a little bit kind of short, and they crouch a little bit compared to other dog, families. Not as big as a wolf. A wolf is very big. A fox is a little bit smaller. Alright, so it's the illusion that he is walking. And so I've got this line here, and I'm just going to try to ignore it. And just kind of, sometimes I shade it in a little bit just so it doesn't bother me. And usually their legs are a little bit darker than their body, so I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of darkness into those legs. And that'll kind of cover up those overlap lines. There we go. Almost just took them away. Darken that up a little bit. And then there are some kind of lighter spots around the face, but fox, this is about a fox color. It's kind of a reddish brown color. I'm going to leave this part white. Make this part a little bit darker. And I'm going to come actually back in with a darker brown. And these parts that I'm getting a little bit darker here, you can see that that's really showing that development. There we go. funny. It kind of looks baby-like a little bit. Alright, and then I wanted to get it colored in and then leaving that light. Alright. Go ahead in with the darker one, and this is going to help me to really show that where those darkest places are, which is really the eyes and the nose. And then you can show some darkness, and that really helps with the texture too. And then I might use this just to kind of get the texture of the fur. Some details there. And I might make this leg a little bit darker to show it's going behind. You see, notice how that just, this is the one that's in front. And then I'm going to make this one a little bit darker to show it's the one from behind. You notice how that really just makes it set back. And then his tail, go ahead and get that color of the tail in, that kind of reddish. And I'm just going to have it go off like it points over there. I think that kind of does have a big head. Maybe these are fox babies. So, the more I look at it, the more it reminds me of that. And it's usually lighter here, lighter on the face. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and do that to the rest of them. And I'll show you the finished product, and we'll talk about the background.